I'm breathing underwater, I'm weightless through space. I'm soaring like an eagle all over this place. Creatures most will never see are waiting there to look at me, and all I gotta do is breathe underwater.
We start today with a kidnapping. Who is he and why did they grab him right in front of the Nelson Institute? We'll find out at the Caber Toy Factory.
Excellent work, gentlemen. Every word of the message is correct.
Oh, good. Mr. Reed is on the job. That means Mr. Terrific can't be far behind. John MacGyver didn't play a villain that often, but when he did, you believed him. Today is no exception. His toy company is a front for a worldwide espionage organization, and he and the Seaview are not on the same side.
Dr. Liscombe, I am honored.
What do you want with me?
Nothing very much. A single missing piece in a very complicated jigsaw puzzle.
He knows you snuck the last piece into your pocket just to mess with him.
The X Factor.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Certainly you do. I'm talking about the greatest deterrent weapon ever invented. One that makes the H-bomb as obsolescent as a bow and arrow. Only one element is still missing. And you possess it. Up there.
Since there's no point in denying it, Liscombe says, and it's going to stay there. Caber says, not after this thing gets through with you. The last time we saw that thing, it was standing up, and I think an alien was operating it, but don't hold me to that part. Irwin was well known for reusing props, as we've seen dozens of times in our Irving on Irwin series. He was nothing if not frugal. They roll Liscombe into it, twiddle some switches, and bring him out. The machine paralyzes him and coats him with a thin layer of wax so he looks like a mannequin. That's how Caber can smuggle someone like Liscombe out of the country successfully. Nobody realizes that statue is alive. Caber will explain all this later, but he talks too slow and time's a wasting. Aboard the Seaview, Admiral Nelson is getting a call from someone unencoded.
Who is it?
No name given, sir. He said it was concerning the X Factor.
Pipe it into my private speaker at once.
Aye, sir. Switch over.
Admiral, Dr. Liscombe has been kidnapped.
Liscombe? Who is this?
I work for Captain Shires, Office of Naval Intelligence. Liscombe was visiting your institute. He was nabbed right outside and brought here.
Where is here? He won't get a chance to tell. Some guys come in and shoot the agent before he can say anymore.
Hello? Hello, are you still there? This is Nelson. Do you read me? Are you still transmitting? Come in.
This man was obviously a U.S. agent. How did he manage to get into our employ?
I'll start a thorough investigation at once, sir.
The guy with the glasses is Henderson. He's as ruthless as they come. He seems to enjoy killing people. That kind of character was Jan Merlin's specialty. He grew up wanting to act and did a lot of theater. World War II interrupted his plans and he served in the Navy and saw combat in the Pacific. When he got back home, he decided he liked playing bad guys. As he put it, one of the disadvantages of being a good guy is having to look heroic and clean-cut, while the heavy can be as grungy as he pleases, or sometimes wear far more fancy duds than his pursuer, maybe even be better looking.
The radio voice identified itself as Admiral Nelson.
No, he just said, Nelson, you're supplying the Admiral part.
This transmitter must be tuned into the Seaview frequency.
Sir, the name of Captain Shires was mentioned by this man.
Shires, yes. Dangerous man. Where is he now?
Here are the latest reports on the movements of U.S. counterintelligence.
There's a note in the base of one of them that says Captain Shires is in Pearl Harbor. They can expect Admiral Nelson to be there shortly.
Unfortunately, they must both be killed.
Yes, sir. I'll attend to it at once.
Note the smile. As I said, he likes his real job. Admiral Nelson and Chief Sharkey take the flying sub and head to Pearl Harbor. Hey look, rocks and seaweed. We've added some props to our bathtub.
Code? Definitely, but a sophisticated one. We still haven't come close to breaking it. Where'd you get this thing? I intercepted it on a tip from one of our agents.
You can start with whoever made it, yes?
There's a big spy ring operating inside our country, and this is the first real lead we've had on it. I'd much rather know about the man who called me. Was he one of your agents?
And assuming he was, where was he assigned? What was he doing? Why isn't Nelson asking these questions? And why isn't Shires supplying the information?
Haven't you got any lead at all?
Yes, it's right there on his desk. He just told you that.
Just one. Now, this is a pet theory of mine. But if I bring it up to headquarters one more time, I'm liable to be laughed out of a job.
Why? It's plain to see that thing is being used for espionage. Who made it?
I never felt less like laughing. Now, what is it?
Every year, the Caber Toy Company.
A toy company? You mean the people who made this?
Right.
The problem is, Caber also does top secret work for the government, building scale models and things like that, so they have political pull. If he doesn't have every duck perfectly in a row, they can destroy him. While they're talking, a scuba diver approaches the flying sub. Where is it? Sharkey said they were tying up at a submarine dock at the naval base. Did the island sink? Speaking of Sharkey, where is he? Why isn't he minding the store? That's usually supposed to be his job. Our man takes out some cutters, opens a panel and snips some wires, and leaves. Oh yeah, he also changed his wetsuit. He snagged the red one on something and ripped a hole in it. Captain Shires joins Nelson and Sharkey in the flying sub to head back to the Seaview.
Now, what's your plan of attack? Barge in and surprise Caber. Accuse him outright if we have to. Keep our eyes open. It's not much of a plan, I grant you, but... You got any better ideas? Not at the moment. Let's just hope it works.
I suppose when you're the U.S. Navy, you can get away with something like that as long as you're right, as he said. And it's something that we already know Caber wouldn't expect.
What's wrong, Admiral? I don't know. I seem to have lost control. Admiral!
The gyro stabilizers.
Nobody expected that either. Nelson can hold it long enough for Sharkey to do a quick fix on the panel, and they make a smooth splash into the water. Make them crash into the ocean. That was Henderson's big plan. Caber may be paying him too much.
The gyro panel was rigged to explode. Sabotage.
You think? Scratch the barge in the front door plan. They already know Nelson and Shires are onto them.
I propose a direct frontal attack. Meaning? An official visit to the Caber Toy Company. And I do mean official. Advance notice, full uniform, armed escorts, you know, the works.
He and Nelson both have top security clearances, so in an official visit, their contracts require Caber to show them anything they want to see. If they balk, we know they're dirty and can proceed accordingly.
Nelson coming here? Impossible. We're not going to open our gates to every U.S. government mission that wants to come snooping around.
European headquarters suggests that you accept the Nelson visit. You have no choice.
That means Caber isn't really the dominant female in this wolf pack. He answers to somebody, and whoever they are, they make him nervous.
And what does European headquarters suggest I do with him?
They don't say, sir. Beyond cautioning you to accept the official visit. Otherwise, they feel we will only attract American government attention to our operations here.
He makes a good point. A future generation will come to call it the Streisand effect.
All right. All right. I will accept the official visitors. However, that's a very dangerous drive between here and Santa Barbara, isn't it, Henderson?
Yes, sir. If you say so.
More dangerous than our heroes could imagine, even with all the precautions they're taking. After both men shot their wieners off, the Navy finally issued them holsters. If you read the IMDb page for this episode, under trivia, it says this is the second time someone painted an X on a car that Nelson was in. That's incorrect. It's the same time. With a couple of minor tweaks, this is lifted directly from Season 1, Episode 1, right down to Shires getting shot, the car going over the cliff, and Nelson killing the shooter. As I said, Irwin was nothing if not careful with his budget. Nelson is the only survivor, but that may change in a moment. As if. Caber is too smart to kill a prize catch like Harriman Nelson if he has the chance to take him alive. Captain Crane has sent Morton, Sharkey, Riley, and what's-his-name to examine the wreckage and find out about the Admiral. Cancel their shore leaves.
Hey, Chief, come on, let's go. Those chicks, they don't like to be kept waiting, you know what I mean?
What are you made up for, sailor? Get out of those civvies and get in uniform. And if I hear one wisecrack out of you, just one, you're on report.
But I thought we were gonna go in...
Just knock it off and get the lead out.
What did I do?
You said chicks. The chief doesn't like that mod lingo.
They've identified Captain Shire's body and a couple of the guards. All pretty badly burned.
That's all?
So far, details still out there searching.
No sign of the Admiral?
None. Not yet.
When the team gets back, that's changed to not at all. There's a very good chance the Admiral survived.
Your men play with some realistic toys, Caber.
You're a very lucky man, Nelson.
I'm glad you think so.
Such a tragic accident, and so unnecessary. If you had only kept your nose out of my business.
You started it by kidnapping a prominent scientist. You expected them to shrug and say, oh well?
Just what is your business, Caber?
I sell happiness for young and old. Now, look here.
Where's Liscombe? What have you done with him?
This is one of our most popular export models. We don't sell any here, but they're very popular in certain European countries.
In fact, they just finished building another one.
Dr. Liscombe. What have you done with him? What?
That's how they'll get him out of the country. Once he's in their country, he'll be brainwashed and all that good stuff and work for them. He has the same thing in mind for Admiral Nelson. Captain Crane doesn't intend to let that happen.
Then they took him alive.
Took him where? I bet it's that cockeyed toy factory.
That's just my guess.
Oh, man, would I like to bust in there.
That's just what I'm gonna do, Chief.
Well, you just point us in the right direction, Skipper.
Wait a minute, Lee. We can't just bust in there. We don't have enough evidence to lower the boom in that place.
We've got plenty of evidence, but no time. Now call the ONI and report this. Unless we get to the Admiral right away, he could be dead.
Or worse, like Dr. Liscombe. Again, Caber is smart enough to know that Nelson is a lot more useful alive and under their control. Crane doesn't know that, but he also doesn't care. He's in shoot first, ask questions later mode.
Turn off the power.
That gets them through the electric fence and gets them a ride. And since they didn't bother to either tie that guy up or take him with them, it also gets them discovered. Caber has started the table moving toward the conversion chamber with Nelson strapped to it.
What are you doing?
There's something wrong.
I don't care what's wrong. Get this thing over with.
A party of men hijacked one of our trucks. They were passed through the gate before warning was given.
You have to love Nelson's grin. The cavalry is here. He never had a doubt, but they did cut it kind of close. A couple of guards have found the van, which everybody insists on calling a truck. Hey, that's me. I'm the intruder. You're under arrest. Here's an idea. Shoot back. Nope, they're caught. Great plan there, boys.
Drop those gun belts.
Grab your guns, gentlemen. Even bringing a knife to a gunfight is better than bringing nothing.
Look, the Admiral.
You intend to attack them with what? You left your guns behind, remember? They find a manhole that Sharky thinks will lead to the power generators.
Come on, down here.
And if they had taken 5 seconds to put the cover back on, they might have a little breathing room. How many ways can we find to do this wrong? There are indeed some very large generators down here, and the technicians minding them go down pretty easily. I'm not sure how closing a switch turns the power off. That's usually how you turn something on. Maybe they do things backward in Caber's country.
They're holed up somewhere in the underground complex.
Get that power back on. We've got plenty of tear gas. Smoke them out.
The correct expression is smoke 'em if you got 'em, and I think it went out with World War II. Besides, they've already made their way back up the manhole, so you're just gassing each other. The power is coming back on, but now they've acquired a couple of pistols from some guards and they're ready to rescue the Admiral. Once upon a time they had 4 pistols, and if they had bothered to pick them up, they could have wrapped this up 10 minutes ago.
Hold it!
Chief, turn the power off.
The lever. Throw the lever. First button on the power control.
They do this a lot. Shoot everything! Make it go burning and fizzling and spitzing and sparking, and everything stops permanently. Because if Caber and Henderson come in and overpower our boys, all they have to do is turn it on again. They can't do that if it's broken. No, not Sharky. He's a great character. Don't worry, we're not killing him off, but he is headed for the conversion chamber, so we may be putting him in a wax museum. And now for something that makes no sense at all. Why did Caber go in there? He has no reason to. He's in a shootout, and that's no cover at all. Plus, the table is moving toward him, so he's trapped. He's smarter than that, so this is giving me major trouble. He knew what that thing does, he knew it was active, and he went into it anyway. He didn't think that would happen to him. Again, his actions don't make sense. I think it's supposed to be some poetic justice. He gets caught by his own device, but it was set up so artificially it feels more like, oh crap, we're almost out of time when we have to beat the bad guy.
Well, that's the end of the Caber Toy Company.
To say the least, the entire spy ring has been broken. They couldn't play without their toys.
However, Naval Intelligence didn't like the way Caber played, so they picked up their toys and went home. As we saw, by the time they did that, Caber was one of their toys. The director's young daughter enjoyed years of putting him in ridiculous poses, but her dad drew the line at changing his clothes.
I'm breathing underwater, I'm weightless through space. I'm soaring like an eagle all over this place. Creatures most will never see are waiting there to look at me, and all I gotta do is breathe underwater.
Furgle. I can say that. The last time we saw that heavy can they are someone painted Caber's covers. Good grief, what was that? I think it was boy, I got some good ones this time.